From fearsome fanged fish to monkeys that look a little too human. Here are 18 of the world's creepiest looking animals. 18. Happy tube-nosed fruit bat. Most of us likely do not consider Yoda to be a creepy character, although he does have his moments. But how about a bat that resembles the Jedi Master? Such a tube-nosed fruit bat was discovered in a remote rainforest of Papua New Guinea in 2009. In fact, the resemblance was so striking that there were some jokes going around that Lucasfilm might take some legal action against the bat for copyright infringement. Interesting to note that in 2017, the bat was officially recognized as a new species and was renamed as the happy tube-nosed fruit bat. Now, whether that was due to legal action, we cannot say. What is for certain is that the critter belongs to a species that was first described in 1769. 17. Red-eyed tree frog. Now, here's a case where the animal might be considered more cute than creepy, but given the odd nature of this amphibian's appearance, we're going to go with creepy. These are arboreal critters living most of their lives in the trees. And during the day, they can cover themselves up so that only the green skin is exposed. And staying motionless, they can blend in seamlessly with the foliage. The amphibian's red eyes are thought to have evolved as part of a defense adaptation. When these frogs detect a predator nearby, they suddenly snap open their eyes and stare down the aggressor. The unexpected appearance of those blazing red orbs might startle the predator just long enough for the frog to jump to safety. 16. Gelatin monkeys. Now, these old-world monkeys are found in only one place on Earth, and that is the highlands of Ethiopia, often at altitudes exceeding 14,000 feet. They're often referred to as baboons, although they are actually members of their own genus. When they get angry, they're pretty much in a class of their own, though. Their pale eyelids will roll up, and their upper lip is pushed up against the nostrils to expose a scary set of fangs. Experts say that those sharp canines are often used in disputes between male rivals during mating season. 15. Helmeted hornbill. As one might guess, this animal belongs to the hornbill family of birds and is found from Sumatra to Borneo. Its name stems from the bird's large casque, which is nearly solid, and that's something unusual for hornbills. Experts say that the helmet-like structure accounts for about 11% of the creature's body weight, or close to 7 pounds. It's often used as a tool to dig into rotten wood to locate prey like insects. But the helmet's greater use comes when the animal is engaged in head-to-head combat with other males over territory. Did you know hornbill ivory is derived from the critter's casque? And that is a precious carving material used by indigenous peoples. 14. Deep sea hatchet fish. Maybe the first thing you notice about this creature is the haunted look on its face. The eyes in particular seem to evoke a sense of dread. However, those big tubular eyes are positioned upwards so that the animal can scan for food that drifts down from above. Since they can be found more than 4,000 feet below the surface, that means they live mostly in darkness, so the eyes are extremely sensitive to light and shadows. Did you know that hatchet fish are bioluminescent? They have light-emitting organs called photophores that run the length of the body. 13. Rodent tapeworms. The very name tapeworm is often enough to give you the creeps, but this one only attacks rodents, as you may have guessed by the name. Now, the better news is that it rarely infects humans, but it's still got an unsettling look to it and an unsettling manner of feeding. Adult specimens have no mouth or intestines, so they use the skin to absorb essential nutrients directly from the gut of the host. 12. Lobster moth caterpillar. Fully grown, these moths do not really resemble lobsters. The crustacean reference is inspired by the caterpillar's external form. The forelegs resemble claws, while the body twists back upon itself, not unlike a lobster's tail. Some experts claim that the caterpillar's appearance is meant to evoke the image of a small spider or an ant, and that's because if the larva is disturbed, it'll start wriggling about violently, much as a wounded ant would do. They can grow more than 2.5 inches or 70 millimeters long and can put on a menacing display if bothered by a potential predator. 11. Wolf eel. Now, this species of wolf fish is native to waters of the northern Pacific, and since it possesses pectoral slits and paired gill slits, it is not actually considered a true eel, but they can still get fairly large at nearly 8 feet long and weighing more than 40 pounds. The strange-looking beasts look like they are not to be trifled with, which is likely some good advice for you. Although they tend to be non-aggressive, they can be some curious critters, and they have strong jaws which can inflict a painful bite on humans. 10. Frogfish. These creatures are members of the anglerfish family, and they can definitely show up in all manner of shapes and sizes. Now, overall, they tend to be short and stocky, with some species covered in various appendages that help keep them camouflaged, while others can change the color and move slowly about to achieve this purpose. And you have some variations like the striated frogfish, which is covered with long appendages called spinules, which look like hair. They can make for an extremely bizarre sight. The voracious ambush predator dwells on the seafloor. 9. Hercules Beetle larvae. Many have remarked that insects can have an alien appearance, and that can definitely include the larvae. The Hercules beetle is a species of rhinoceros beetle which can measure up to 7 inches long. By some accounts, that makes them the world's longest species of beetle known. And they're called rhinoceros beetles thanks to the long pincers which appear like horns. They also rank as one of the world's largest flying insects, which makes for a pretty creepy visual right there. 8. Boone Viper. This species of viper is found in rainforests of sub-Saharan Africa, and it has the highest venom yield of any snake. It also has the longest fangs of any snake, reaching over 2 inches long. Those scary choppers fold back into the roof of its mouth, but they'll quickly snap into position when it's time to bring down prey. Did you know these reptiles are the world's heaviest vipers? They can weigh upwards of 19 pounds. 7. African Death's Head Moth. Well, any animal that carries the image of a death's head on its body qualifies as creepy. Of the 3 species of death's head hawk moth, this one would be the best known, and its perceived skull pattern has led it to become linked to several superstitions. One of the better known fears is that the moth means bad luck for the inhabitants of any house it flies into, and that death or some other misfortune will soon follow. Now, in fact, these insects represent no threat, aside from being a minor pest to crops, and they will raid beehives at night searching for honey. 6. Fanged moray. It's easy enough to see where this creepy fish gets its name. Its elongated jaw is packed with razor-sharp teeth that appear to be made from shards of glass. They have an outer row of choppers that measure about an inch long, and those alternate with an interior row of teeth which are longer and spaced. Did you know that due to its yellow and black coloration, the fish is also called the tiger moray? They grow to about 4 feet long and usually hide in the rocks and in the rubble of the eastern Atlantic Ocean. 5. Creepy or cute? We encountered this unusual-looking beast while researching the episode. Now, interestingly, this picture was filed under cuteness, and that might serve to prove that there is a thin line between creepy and cute. At any rate, we couldn't come up with a definite conclusion about what this thing might be, although it appears to be something along the lines of an amphibian. So we're gonna ask you out there, what do you think it is? And do you think it's creepy or is it cute? 4. Giant leaf-tailed gecko. These critters live in the tropical rainforests of Madagascar, to which they are endemic. And since their eyes are around 350 times more sensitive to light than our human eyes, these lizards are nocturnal in nature. During the day, it will adhere to a tree trunk where it rests. But should it be disturbed, the gecko will raise its head and tail, then open its mouth wide and scream at the intruder. So in other words, this is one gecko that won't be selling you any car insurance. 3. Caecilian. Larger specimens of these creatures can grow nearly 5 feet long and appear like snakes, while smaller species look like worms. But caecilians are actually limbless amphibians, and they're found in many locations worldwide, including Southern Asia, Central and South America, and Africa. Since they live hidden in the ground, not much is known about them. In fact, they are considered to be the least known amphibian order. Experts aren't even sure about the evolutionary history, since fossil records are so sketchy. But some sources do claim the creatures could date back around 100 million years or so. But one thing's for certain, once you see them, you cannot soon forget them. 2. Brazilian treehopper. This creature looks so weird that many people thought it was photoshopped, but it really does exist, and it is native to the planet Earth, from North and South America all the way to Australia. The purpose of those unusual pods circling a stalk growing from its head, well, that still poses a mystery. Some guesses include the bristly appendages being used as a way for the small insect to detect the world around it. 1. Less Eula. Now here's another one where some of us were divided because it could be borderline creepy or cute. However, we're going with creepy for this creature, and that's due in great part to those large human-like eyes. These monkeys were not discovered in African rainforests until 2007 and then officially confirmed 5 years later. Now, the most distinctive feature by far are their eyes, as we've previously mentioned. Some people say it looks like human features grafted onto the animal's face. It has another distinctive trait, which is a large bare patch on the backside, which is described as a brilliant blue. Would you have given this critter the #1 spot, or would you have chosen something else?